Hello and welcome. This is Lindsay of Lindsay Lou Rogers for the Momentum Talk Show. And I have with me today Terri, Lynn, Yanke. I'll let her say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. We are so happy to have you here today. So I will just be going over a few things, letting you know how Momentum got started, what the mission is, and then we will be learning all about Terri and what she is all about. So to start, Momentum got started as a way for me to share with all of you all the wonderful things I've learned from others, tips and tricks, things that they have told me literally in conversation that I thought made a big difference in my life, and I'd love for all of you to learn about those too. And Momentum stands for Monumental Opportunity Manifesting Extraordinary New Times among man and womankind. So we have a female here with us today. So I will let Terri take it away. Tell us all about herself to start.
Well, thanks, Lindsay. I'm so happy to be with you with your Momentum Talk Show. My name is Terri Lynn Yanke, as Lindsay had mentioned, and I own a business, Eventful Advantage, where I am a business event expert, both online and in person. And I am very dedicated to working with business owners to build their business and brand, while at the same time bring experiences to their attendees. In addition to this, I am the managing director of eWomen Network Madison, and that is a premier networking community for women and men to help also build their business.
Beautiful. We are so happy to have you. It sounds like you have a lot going on. And what we want to know is how this all got started, how you found your niche. So something we talked about in conversation was this idea that you had been doing it your whole life.
Yes, it was at this momentum time that I was looking to what should I start my business. What I wanted to start a business. I was in corporate America, had a very successful corporate American life, but it was time for me. It was always a goal, and I kind of looked back at, well, actually it was brought to me because I selfishly started a meetup group. And I moved to Dallas for my last job. I always moved for my jobs to some new location. And I moved to Dallas. I didn't know anyone. And this is at a time that I just went through a recent divorce, a recent empty nester. My daughter went to college. And I was working my corporate job a lot of hours. And I need to add balance. So the first thing I did, I added a puppy. Second thing I did was I discovered Meetup, and I decided to create a Meetup group very selfishly to meet people, explore Dallas. So I started this group, and it grew. It grew to like 2,700 people, and I was doing events all the time. And so when it was coming time where I left corporate America and starting I wanted to start a new business, I was kind of going, what should I do? And people looked at me really strange and said, Terri, you do events. They had no idea I had this whole other job. They just thought I did events for them. And then when I thought about it, oh my gosh, I've been doing events my whole life, since high school. And then I think back, I did it in college. I did it in my work in corporate America. I used events all the time. And so that's it came to me, but I've been doing it my whole life.
And that is amazing. That you grew a meetup group, that you started a meetup group, and that it grew to 2,700 people. Unbelievable. And something about doing it your whole life. What was something you were known for when you were little?
Well, I changed schools every 2 years just because of my situation. And so I always had to meet new friends. And so I would always be cheerful. I'd have a smile on my face. I wanted to be liked. And so I became known for my smile. It was written in all, like the yearbook. It was written in different things. Oh, Terry's smile. And I to this day I hear, oh, I like your smile. And that makes me feel happy because I just really want to be welcoming, and I really enjoy meeting other people.
What a wonderful thing to be known for. That's great. Yeah, and ever since you were little. So you mentioned starting events for groups of people in Dallas. And then there was this shift that happened. You decide to move your focus in a particular direction. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so when I started my business, I decided to cast a wide net and just see, the events can range from weddings to conferences and everything in between. And what I discovered was really good. I discovered I could do it all. But when I worked with business people, I really could give them extra value. And that's because I have a business background. I have an MBA, Wisconsin School of Business, both in management and marketing. And then my whole life was in business. And so when I started talking to business people and creating conferences or doing something for their business, I found that I could really give them extra value, meaning I could do things that other people couldn't do, what a typical event planner couldn't do. So I came kind of a consultant strategist to help you build your business and the same time creating an event around that.
Beautiful. And what a great way to hone in on your previous experience in life and build a business that's doing something for the businesses.
Mhm.
That is wonderful. You also mentioned that your bigger picture mission was something about drawing in. Do you want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, so I just love, so what I decided to do when I started a business was that I only wanted to do things I love. And I just love bringing people together. And that has been a continuing theme from, that's probably why I did events to begin with, from, very young through my whole life. And so I just really love bringing people together and then taking it even a step further. I love collaborations.
That's wonderful. And it seems like you get a lot of genuine joy out of that.
Yes, like I said, I after corporate America, when you're kind of on someone else's different plan, not to say I didn't like my job, I really enjoyed my job, but if I was going out to start my own business, I knew a lot of time and energy would be put forth in that, that I only wanted to do things that I loved and what I could be really good at. And that is just something that I am good at, is bringing people together. And so that's what I decided to do.
And what a beautiful thing, because so many people can benefit from that magnet or that person that draws people together, because it just takes one special person to get things started. In the wake of the pandemic, I know there's some things that you have some tips or advice or broad thinking, I think would maybe be a good word for businesses now when it comes to events. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, so no one could predict the pandemic, the COVID-19, but then now we are all there, and we need to adapt to what is happening right now, and then look to the future. And sometimes it's really hard when you are in fear and panic, and so. I heard this quote actually from Sandra Yancey from eWomen Network, that fear and panic are contagious, but so is leadership. And so I have chosen to take a leadership role in all of this. Initially, it started by just helping people switch to virtual events. And so offering my services to help them navigate Zoom, how to use it correctly, how to consult in how to do a virtual retreat and other virtual events, actually helping host and facilitate virtual events for other people. But now looking forward, things are starting to reopen. And so I have tried to be an advocate for helping and changing the mindset of doing things still safely within the governance of wherever you live, but that you do need to move forward to do that. So I have taken kind of, I want to help people make that transition, do it in a creative way. There are ways to make things happen still. I get saddened every day by something, being canceled. And really, did they look at all the options? Did they look at everything that can be done? And no, it won't be the same. It can't be. To be safe, it can't be the same, but it can still happen in a different way. And so I'm just trying to think out of the box, be creative, look at all the different options and helping people see that there are different options and then helping them with that.
How wonderful and great of you to be able to take a turn during all of this and almost from a consultant perspective of what are my options, what can I do, and just to think outside of the box on that. And I noticed you talked about this drawing people together in collaboration. We didn't go down that road too much, but I remember something about drawing neighboring business owners together and creating good relationships. I'm not sure how much you want to touch on that, but I just thought I'd bring it up if there's something you want to add to businesses coming together in order to help each other.
Yes, sometimes businesses themselves can have a great event, but it is a way to scale your business. Events help you scale your business, helps also grow your brand awareness. And that's even if no one shows up, just holding an event helps you do that. But then when you team up with other businesses, whether it's because of a location, you're next door to each other, part of a strip mall, part of a location, or you belong to like a club together, a networking group, and it's a bunch of different businesses. If you collaborate together, it makes it a bigger event. And then you're able to share each other's lists and people and expand upon that. I remember having this great open house. Well, didn't really turn out to be an open house in Dallas. So it was a realtor having an issue selling this $2.7 million house, and it was beautiful. I went to go visit it, and it was a new construction. But so it was bare, had nothing in it. And it was very neutral because none of the walls were really painted because they're letting the new person use their, their style to add to the house. And so all of a sudden I saw these walls and light. I'm going, oh my gosh, bright colored art would look so nice on these walls. And so I suggested having an artist showcase. And in doing that, I found out that I could use the walls and then because it was new construction, the construction people would come in and repair them. So I reached out to the artist community. They were willing to do it for free to show their art and sell their art. And we assigned different walls around the house. And then, and just to get excitement, I wanted to do a big event with it to really get the crowd in there, help the artist, help the realtor. And so we worked with a caterer who was willing to give us a discount to allow them to market themselves. The realtor had partners, so he reached out to a broker, a title person, an insurance person, and we got everyone kind of chipping in. So we had wine, we had food, we had entertainment, we had the artists set up throughout the house. I even got I like experiences. And so I had an artist painting while people were viewing and stuff like that. I actually am a wine ambassador also. So I had my wine there and I was able to kind of give tastings and educate people. So it was very engaging, very interactive. The result, over 200 people attended. Every single artist sold or commissioned future work. They wanted me to take an art show on the road. And the everyone gained new clients, new businesses, and the realtor, not from someone who attended that night, but from someone who attended that night and told someone, the house was sold. And that's one of my favorite collaboration stories. And it just can happen. It's the power of people working together and sharing who they know. The artist community in that particular case reached out to their networks. We had interior designers and we had just a eclectic mix of people that really made it a success.
That is wonderful. And it reminds me of this concept of the five senses.
Oh, yes, yes. So I have a secret sauce in working on creating my events. And so there has to be interaction, there has to be engagement, and then, yes, what Lindsay said, the five senses. I want to make sure that every single sense is stimulated because what does that do? that it works with your brain and it creates memories. And then memories, you want to be remembered. And so I make it part of my checklist. I create an event and then I go, are the eyes stimulated? Are the ears, the nose, the taste, the touch? And if not, I will add an element into the event to make sure it is, because you want to create great experiences so you can be remembered.
I really like that. And yeah, the interactive aspect. And I remember something about some sort of tactile touching type of thing you had at one event that sounded like, oh, we need that sense. And I can't remember what it was, but that seemed like pretty interactive as well to get them to feel something or hold. Maybe it was the velvet.
Velvet and satin. That's why a lot of people use that, because it's not every day, so it's a little special. And then it just feels so good. It feels smooth or it feels soft. I remember one time I wore a velvet top and a friend of mine didn't realize it, but she was kind of like petting me. And because it just felt so good, and it didn't bother me. It was kind of like, oh, that feels good. Just that those kind of things just bring and add it, and you'll remember that. You'll remember the velvet, you remember the satin, using finer cutlery. But I have to say, it's been a challenge virtually, but not impossible if you think outside the box.
That's true. And when I heard you say that you don't use something every day, it reminds me of this concept of being indulgent or up leveling, or this is extra special because I don't get to do this every day. And that makes it that just changes the whole dynamic of the event when you do something like that.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to wow. You definitely want to make it memorable, and doing things that are a little out of the ordinary or a little special is what the whole event, that makes the fun stuff for event planning, and you can do that with a business event too.
So it sounds like, and you've come full circle from your smile to connecting people to doing events for businesses, adding all the five senses. Wow, that's pretty unbelievable. To the meetup groups, to growing that. Um, so yeah, you really have come full circle and found your true meaning and your true mission.
Yes, and it does. I don't, because I'm doing something I love, and it doesn't. I don't mind working hard at it because I get enjoyment, personal enjoyment from it.
That's so wonderful. Well, that has been really nice hearing about the whole experience from the beginning, your experience, the experience of the events. Is there anything else you'd like to let the audience know about you?
I have a little fur baby, Odie, and a daughter, Lindsay, who lives in Washington, D.C., and I'm loving back in Madison, near friends and family and making new friends. And let's see here, I would love for you to visit my website, eventfuladvantage.com. I have a free business experience event checklist that you can get. It has a lot of nuggets in it, and would love to have a conversation.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, and reminds me of what you said when you're setting up the events, the checklist. That would be a really great resource. Yes, thank you. That was going to be my next question, how to contact you. So thank you for doing that. And Terri and I met through Polka Dot Powerhouse and eWomen Network, and she got to tell us all about her events, and I've just been intrigued ever since. So what a joy it's been to have you here today. Thanks for adding in a few little details about yourself and your personal life as well. People love to hear that. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. We're happy to have you. And to all of you out there listening, we're just really excited to share Terri Lynn Yanke with you today.
Thanks, Lindsay, so much. It's been just a pleasure to get to know you. By the way, I do yoga with Lindsay. I recommend to everyone. And thank you for taking the time to watch. Have a good day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, and you're a great yoga student. I even got her dancing lately. So it's been great to collaborate in all kinds of ways. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.